And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Now the Michigan man, Jake Moody, to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. Fights through, and now a crease. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jordan Mason, 74 yards. And the Vikings will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they had both. Over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. There the 49ers getting set to trot out there. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they work this well upfield across the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. 31 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Purdy looking to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Juwan Jennings from 6 yards away. And the 49ers are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Jake Moody now for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Well, now how about this return? And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense, diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
To the air with McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. Only able to gain a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Now McCarthy. He's got his man. That's Naylor. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That throw right on the money from the quarterback from Michigan. It's a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Throwing is McCarthy. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and a couple. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And his throw here's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. On play action, McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll run for it with Mason. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. Here's Purdy. Got a man. That's Ayuk. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Purdy off the play fake. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Purdy now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Back to throw, Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Throwing here, Purdy. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Diabador Lenore up to make the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. But Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Jacob Cowing deep to receive it. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now Purdy. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Purdy. A quick throw there is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. To throw again on second down. Purdy. This is Jennings. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They go play action here. Purdy. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. Third down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Purdy from the gun. They'll find Farrell open left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
From the 21, here's the 2nd and 8. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. These two teams all tied after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Fourth down try. Here's Purdy. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down, but hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
The drive begins with Mason. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd and a couple. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
3rd down. Here's Mason. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 90 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. That time on the run-pass option when he decided to throw it. Not a quick little drop-off. He went downfield a bit.
Reminiscent of a triple option quarterback in college because he faked it inside, and instead of immediately throwing it out to the perimeter, stepped back in the pocket to find a target downfield.
And this one is incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's McCarthy. On the screen, this is Mason. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practice.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw. McCarthy. His throw incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, here's Mason. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Escaping the pressure right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Excellent work that time to get free, and for his exploits, he's going to be left with just a 3rd and 3.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the 1st down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Mason going to get it on 1st down. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try again. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Jordan Mason with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Vikings are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. So his strong 1st half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Purdy looking to throw. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Open man, the former Gator. It's Ricky Pearsall. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Back to throw again. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Vikings first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on 3rd down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
On play action, now McCarthy. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first down carry by Jones. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Throwing is McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, 41 yards. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Purdy. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Purdy now to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a 49ers first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Purdy. That's complete to Pearsall. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Out of the gun, Purdy. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now McCarthy. To the sideline and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Complete to Addison on the out route. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. To the air again, McCarthy. Addison hauls it in. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This 2nd and 4. Here's McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. Where was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag?
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with one.
Looking to throw McCarthy. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Niners ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, Purdy. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Purdy off the play fake. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Throwing here, Purdy. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. $40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Starting the drive with Mason on the ground. To about the 35, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. And they'll go again with Mason. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 107 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
Well, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. And this is going to be intercepted. And the 49ers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Now Purdy. He's got his big tight end, Farrell, complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Shotgun now with Purdy. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And out now come the Vikings. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 3. On play action, now McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. To the air with McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Back to throw, Purdy. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Once more, Purdy looking to throw. The same target, same result. It's Kittle.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 2. They go play action here. Purdy. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Purdy now to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Hey, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. On third down, it's Garendo. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Purdy. That's into the hands of Pearsall on the right side. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Purdy looking to throw. Looking for the out route. He's got it. Complete to Kittle. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. This is 2nd and 8. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. The tight end in motion right. Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So it was 4th down and 1 in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little bit surprised that that's exactly what they decided to do. I kind of thought that they would go for it in that situation. But sometimes I'm sure you just think to yourself, take the 3 points, put them in your pocket, and move on.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. Escaping a tackler at the 25. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. McCarthy off the play fake. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll hand it to Mason. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
3rd down and 6. Now McCarthy. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Now that's a killer, because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. On the give, it's Mason. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive
is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
Throwing is McCarthy. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Purdy from the gun. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. McCaffrey on the toss right. Trying to find some space to turn upfield, but this defense having none of it. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Throwing here, Purdy.
forced out to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 9 yards, and they're going to have a third down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Now Purdy. And it's complete in the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Juwan Jennings, his second touchdown of the night. And the Niners have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Vikings head out to take over once again. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. On play action, McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. As San Francisco's offense returns to the field, their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pass caught by Pearsall, and they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 5. Purdy will set up to throw it here. That's complete to Pearsall. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Back to throw again.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This is Jennings. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Back to throw, Purdy.
Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Here's Purdy.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So the clock shows 55 seconds to play as they line up for a critical onside kick. And the Vikings hands team able to recover, and that should just about do it. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. And now out comes Minnesota. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Right back to Mason. Pushing through the contact. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Straight ahead, here's Mason. And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.